What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all. So we got a few things to talk about, okay? But before we get into it, I just hope and pray that all of the people that are dealing with the hurricane, I think, is it called Hurricane Beverly or Bevel? I don't know how to pronounce that name. But I know it has hit certain parts of the Caribbeans, as well as now it has hit Texas, the Houston area to be exact. I hope everyone that's dealing with the hurricane is okay. I've been in several and they nothing to play with. So please stay warm and safe. All right, y'all. So let's start off with Real Housewives Potomac. So we got an update with the lawsuit between Kiarna and Deborah, aka Weird Eyebrows. So I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to read what TV Deets posted on their Instagram page, but I'll definitely link the article below if you would like to read more for yourself. But this is what TV Deets posted on, I'll say Instagram, on Twitter. It says, Deborah Williams has filed a $7 million counterclaim against Kiarna Stewart, alleging she is the villain who orchestrated the hashtag RHOP season 8 fight. And it goes on to say, it's obvious that the counter defendant, Miss Kiarna Stewart, craves fame. She craves attention so much so that she is willing to do just about anything to have her name broadcasted on television and across social media. Girl... Okay, Leah. Deborah's attorney writes in court documents obtained exclusively by TV Deets. This includes instigating a fight, having the fight recorded, then sending the video of the fight to TMZ for it to be viewed on TV all over the world. In reality drama she has brought before the courts, Miss Stewart is not the victim. In fact, she is the villain in the story. Miss Stewart is not the protagonist. She is the antagonist. The facts will show that Miss Stewart, with her insatiable desire to be known, orchestrated all of the events outlined in our claim in this counter complaint. And in the end, the courts will see, indeed, the country will see that Miss Williams is the innocent party who has been severely damaged by Miss Stewart. Y'all, oh my gosh. This is stupid. This whole statement was stupid, especially the beginning where they say that Kiarna craves fame. She craves attention so much so that she's willing to do just about anything to have her name broadcasted on television across social media. But I'm like, are you supposed to be Deborah's attorney? Or no, because that is basically who Deborah is. The same Deborah that was only featured on season 7 for less than probably maybe, I want to give her like 30 minutes out of like maybe a 20 episode season, had hashtag RHOP in her bio. The same girl who lied on Eddie and Chris and said that they were like, into her. The same girl who was thirsty at Karen's event, wanting and begging for Candace to talk to her and needed Ashley to be like, come on, Candace, give her a chance. The same lady that we saw on season 8 on the night of the fight, running around to anybody where there was a camera, hugging on to people. The same one who had an attitude with Mia, but Mia basically calmed the lady down because she could tell that she was really upset about being called a 4. The same person that we see in the TMZ video pour a drink on Candace while her back is turned. That right there, if I was a judge, I would be like, you initiated combat first. Because in a lot of states, that is assault. Like pouring a drink on somebody, spitting on somebody, throwing something at somebody is considered an assault. So I don't know where she got this attorney from. And I'm like, girl, innocent where when you were on the internet with that video, like check the face and messing with that ponytail, and then was gloating, talking about, you hit me in my face, come get your nail, when it was like, clearly, girl, that was a press on. That was not acrylic, nor was it gel or dipped. Chill out, Deborah. Chill out. I just think this is just funny to me. And my thing is, like, I don't think either one of them are gonna get any money from this like that. You know, Kiana is suing for 10 million, Deborah is suing for 7. The court case could go either way. And the reason why I say that is the cameras were down. They were not filming when Deborah did what she did, when the fight actually took place. I think a lot of people keep bringing up Candace and Monique's situation, but I'm like, the only reason why Candace and Monique's situation I think went the way it did is because it actually played out while the cameras were filming. So the judge like kind of brushed it off as like, oh, this is reality TV mess. This to me is different because one, Kiana is actually a part of the show. Deborah is not. She may have been featured in the show, but she did not sign that Bravo contract. On top of that, this altercation happened after the actual, like, the cameras were down. They wrapped. They only brought them back up after the said altercation happened. So I feel like, if anything, I could see like maybe possibly like them, if I was a judge, them making Deborah pay for like Kiana's like medical bills if she had any with the stitches. She probably did with the stitches, but I don't think she gonna get that much money. Even if the judge did rule in Kiana's favor, Deborah don't look like she got it like that. But let's move on. All right, y'all. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta. I feel like I'm going to have to call this like RHOA updates, because this is like the miscellaneous information about RHOA that like I don't think anybody cares about, but it's interesting to talk about, but it's not like the story that's out there. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of interesting to me, but it looks like Kelly and Porsha might be cool. And y'all know here lately when I've been doing the drama videos, it seems like Porsha was always throwing shade at Kelly and Kelly was catching it and throwing it back. But about 5 days ago, Kelly had a magazine party. She was on the cover of, I guess, or featured in Pop Out magazine, and Porsha showed up.
Oh, baby, y'all are not ready. You're not ready? You're not ready yet? Y'all don't even have a clue. Let's do it now, ladies. Congratulations. Thank you, honey. Yes. You popped out for me. I did.
So I was actually surprised that Porsha showed up to kick it with Kelly, mainly because, like I said, they've been throwing shade back and forth, more coming from Porsha than Kelly. But I wonder if, because Kenya is no longer there, if it's making everybody reevaluate the relationships that they have at this point. Also, I wonder if they were able to come to like some type of understanding, because they're both dealing with some pretty like contentious divorces right about now. But it was interesting to me. What made people start talking about the event is because of Tiffany Rose. So if you forgot who Tiffany Rose was, she was supposed to be one of the newest housewives, or she was testing to be one of the newest housewives. Allegedly, this is the rumor I heard, that her and Kenya got into it. Kenya read her for filth, and Tiffany backed out of it because she was upset about, the dragging that she got from Kenya. Well, when the information or the news came out about Kenya no longer being a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta and possibly being fired, Tiffany took to her Insta story and basically added Kenya and said, "See, God don't like ugly." And so somebody asked Tiffany in the DMs like, "Hey girl, what's your beef with Kenya?" And she pretty much said that Kenya made a big deal about her being a part of the show, and that production wanted their businesses to be pit against each other, and Kenya didn't want that. So she made a big deal about Tiffany being on the show, and she got Tiffany kicked off the show. Now, I stand by what I said last time. If Tiffany was valuable to the show, they would have kept her, no matter if her and Kenya had issues, or if Kenya went to production and said, "I don't want her to be on the show." I feel like Tiffany didn't show up and she got booted off the island, pretty much. But what made people be like, oh, is like, why is Tiffany around? It seems like Tiffany might be filming for Real Housewives of Atlanta. She actually showed up to the Pop Out magazine event, and she posted on her Insta story, she said this, where she said, "Congratulations to the newest housewife. of the A at Who Is Kelly. Y'all not ready for Kelly, hashtag RHOA. But then she posted another Insta story where she said in it, she said, some fell off the boat to make room for that new. So a lot of people are like, okay, is she saying that because Kenya is no longer a part of the show, they brought her back? So a lot of people are like, oh, it seems like she's filming again. Well, y'all know I went to Twitter like I normally do, and it seems like Mad Beefs hopped into the chat, and like I said, some of the things Mad Beefs has said has actually been factual. So they were like, she's not filming for Real Housewives of Atlanta, she's filming for a different show. So this is what the tweet said. It says, a lot of people don't know who Tiffany Rose is, and that's a good thing. Apparently, she's from Cali. She flew out to ATL to be on hashtag RHOA, and during the set filming, she quit because she couldn't handle Kenya. Now she's on another reality TV show in the ATL. I heard it's Love and Hip Hop. Someone responded to this post that Mad Beefs posted, and they said it's not Love and Hip Hop ATL. They already had a cast release, and she wasn't on there. Might be Impact ATL on BET. They're filming right now, and Mad Beefs responded saying you might be right. So I don't know. She might be on RHOA doing like a cameo or so, or she might not even be like, we might not even see the footage, to be honest. We might not see anything, but I just thought that was interesting. So the next miscellaneous topic is Drew with a message to Porsha. So Drew posted on her Instagram, just because you block me doesn't mean I'm not going to end up on your timeline. So y'all know Porsha and Drew unfollowed each other, but it looks like Porsha may have blocked Drew, and everybody was like, why would Porsha and Drew have issues? I forgot, and I'm glad someone brought the clip, and I'm gonna play it for y'all, that Drew was in the studio with Dennis making beats. I said, girl, what? Let me play that for y'all.
It's too late for you, but it's on time. On time. Let's hear that. It's too late for you, but it's on time. On time.
So when I saw someone repost this clip, all I could do was laugh, because I was like, oh yeah, they were hanging out. And it was weird to me because I was like, is like Dennis her manager now or something? Because I was like, all I know this man to do is sell hookah and hot dogs. Why he in the studio? He helping you write music? Like, girl, what is this? What is this? All I could do was laugh at it, but I don't think that's the reason why they're not cool. Because at first I was like, girl, I said, Drew, I hope you're not messing with him, because Porsha will definitely put hands on you, sis. And Porsha could probably beat the Chicago out of you. Did she say she from Chicago? I think she did. Yeah. But yeah, I've always looked at Drew with the side eye, because I just feel like she's fake. But also, I just remember Porsha Family Matters, when Drew went to Simon's birthday, and she was like, as long as my girl is happy, I'm happy for her. And I'm like, this is after the season where you had LaToya Forever on there, and Drew and LaToya got into it, and Drew pretty much was telling that girl she didn't know what it meant to be a wife or to be in a real marriage. But here you are, like, championing your friend who you clearly know is in a messed up situation, and you know the way that she got with that man was shiesty AF. So I just always looked at Drew like, But I wonder if like they'll probably be back friends again, because Drew wants to be friends with Porsha, or maybe Drew might actually have a backbone and be like, you know what, I'm gonna stand on my own. All right, y'all. So let's get into the stories. Okay, the main stories about Real Housewives of Atlanta as it states for this week. Watch some more come out after this. But this is coming from the Neighborhood Talk, and it says this. Not so fast. Sources close to Bravo claim Kenya hasn't been fired and network hasn't officially accused her of revenge porn. It goes on to say, neighbors, it's no secret that just about everyone was shocked when we heard the news that Real Housewives of Atlanta alum Kenya Moore was suspended from filming season 16 due to alleged revenge porn. RHOA newbie Brittany Edie took to Instagram to accuse Kenya of showcasing illicit images of her. In the caption, she wrote, "Revenge PORN is never okay." Stories spread like wildfire that Kenya had been fired, but sources close to the network tell us that they have paused filming with Kenya while things are sorted out. We can assure you she hasn't been fired. Bravo nor any official sources has ever said she committed revenge PORN, our sources stated. Brittany was the one who put that on her stories. There have been new rumors that these allegations have affected Kenya's business partnership with beauty supply stores such as Sally's. However, that info could not be confirmed. Looks like we'll just have to wait and see what's the tea is. So that is what the Neighborhood Talk has posted. And then I saw this thing on Twitter by Eric. Y'all remember Eric was the guy that was the photographer that came out and was like, I am flabbergasted. Like that was the deadliest scene in RHOA history. Well, he put this on his Twitter where he said, I'm gonna have to ride for my friend on this one because certain people have been trying their hardest to report the worst of Kenya, but reporting false information shows how desperate people can be for clickbait and wanting to be the first to report with no credible sources. Learn to shut up and realize this is entertainment for television. Kenya is the moment while some people are trying to produce their own temporary moment. And with this tweet, he actually posted a picture of the Neighborhood Talk article with his comment in it. And he said this, but everyone was in the comments posting away like they knew those allegations were all facts. SMH, people have to hush and let things play out before being so ignorant while speaking prematurely. Thankfully, Kenya knows and has seen so many people switch up and show their hearts during all of this. Now, I'm going to have to pull on Mr. Eric's, coattails or pull his wig a little or shift it a little because you played into this as well, sir. Like you and Drew got on this internet and was like, oh my God, I'm flabbergasted. The deadliest scene in RHOA history. But you never came out to clarify what you saw or what took place. So you didn't help the situation either. So here's my thing. I told y'all I didn't think Kenya got fired. I told y'all I felt like it was probably something dealing with money after having conversations with my dad about this situation, and that it would seem like an amicable split in a sense, or if it wasn't amicable, Kenya just chose to walk away. Because it's still really weird to me that we have not gotten a statement from the network, because I feel like if Kenya really did release revenge PORN while they were filming this show, I feel like the network would have made a statement about like they don't condone this, and then would have been like they fired her because they always want to make an example out of her. That I just thought it was weird. I also thought it was weird that we got everything else except the kitchen sink when it came to this situation. We got the audio of Kenya being like, Yo Gotti was like, Snapchat me that pussy, and you were gonna get like you was gonna do it for $1,400. You a cheap hoe. And then we saw the poster with the Insta fraud hoe, insurance fraud hoe. We also heard Porsha in the background or somebody in the background being like, is that a penis? So we heard all of this stuff, but we have yet to see the actual photo. And I'm like, y'all can produce everything else. And like the narrative of like, oh, they had these posters posted up, but we see video and videos and pictures of everything else, but we have yet to see Kenya with these posters, that I just felt like the story was not believable. But I still do believe Kenya did something. I also thought it was weird that it took them this long for this investigation when you're filming everything. You film everything. Why is it taking you so long to be like, okay, yeah, that's what that is? But again, like I said, I do think that Kenya did something. I just don't think that it was revenge PORN, because I'm like, why haven't they just, like, thrown her out to dry? But I also feel like they're using her for buzz, because people have been following this story very closely, and it also has garnered interest in Atlanta, because for a while people weren't really into the show, and I mean, there's still a lot of people who aren't, but I wonder how they're going to, get the people back, because a lot of people, especially Team Twirl, are mad that she's not there anymore. So the next story I want to talk about is Phaedra. So B. Scott is reporting that Phaedra Parks is negotiating her return to RHOA, and Cynthia Bailey is filming a lot of scenes for the upcoming season. So let's read that article. So the article starts off like this: Could Frick and Frat be coming back? Sources exclusively tell lovebscott.com that the powers that be are working hard to negotiate Phaedra Parks' return to Real Housewives of Atlanta amid an unexpected suspension, then firing. Everyone was hopeful that Phaedra's contract would be negotiated in time for her to attend Cynthia Bailey's event at Lake Bailey this past weekend, but they're still trying to work out some details. The biggest hangups, we're told, is Phaedra's current contract with Married to Medicine. As you may have seen, Phaedra appeared alongside Porsha Williams on Watch What Happens Live, the 15th anniversary special, and their chemistry won the viewers over. We're told positive reactions or receptions to Frick and Frat reunion only added to the desire for Phaedra to return. Speaking of Cynthia Bailey, our sources say she's been filming more and more scenes in the recent weeks. We may way more than she originally agreed to film as a friend of the show. It's unclear if Cynthia will be promoted to full-time housewife, but you can expect to see her a lot more during season 16. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't think Cynthia should be a full-time housewife, because again, the same way that I felt like we got everything we could get out of Candy, I feel like we've gotten everything we can get out of Cynthia. Unless we're gonna, like, because I feel like all Cynthia's storyline is probably going to be is her, like, possibly dating or just living her life as a single woman, and that's not really interesting. And Cynthia also doesn't really get in the mix unless somebody, like, approaches her really at times. So I don't know if I want her to be a full-time housewife. I think she would work better or thrive better as a friend of. Bringing back Phaedra, I think, is stupid, because Phaedra gives nothing. I think if they bring back Phaedra, the only thing we're going to see is possibly a fight between Shamia, Phaedra, and Porsha, because I can see Porsha pushing Shamia to the side to be cool with Phaedra, or to just be up Phaedra's ass because she knows the fans like it. And I get it, like, the fans were happy to see them together, but I'm like, it's not enough, I feel like, to bring Phaedra back, especially when all Phaedra gives on Married to Medicine is nothing. Phaedra gives what she gave on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, very surface level energy. She does not open up, so it's like, what's the point of having her around if she's not going to be, like, open and honest about the things that are happening? Like, I want to know why her and Apollo's wife don't get along. I want to know why you and Apollo just now got cool, and I don't think she's going to show any of that. But I don't know how true this information is from B. Scott, because here lately I feel like B. Scott's, the people over there have had a vendetta against Kenya, as well as, like, some of the information I feel like we've been getting from them has been kind of shaky. But Phaedra did post this to her Instagram where she said, "I stay ready so I never have to get ready." And it was with the, I don't know what you call that thing when they slap it to start the movie, and like a drink. So some people are like, oh, maybe she's alluding to, like, actually coming back for Atlanta, so this is wonderful. Or maybe she's talking about something happening on Married to Medicine, but who knows. So our last story is about to be about Porsha and Simon. When I tell you, this is the divorce that is never ending. It's never ending, and it's always something new getting added to it. Now the rapper Future is added to it. So this is coming from In Touch Weekly, and it says this. Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams' estranged husband Simon Guobadia demands she answers several questions under oath as part of their ongoing divorce. In Touch can exclusively reveal Simon, 60, fired off a list of questions he wanted Porsha, 43, to answer. He asked her to admit or deny that their prenup was unfair and unreasonable. In addition, he asked her to admit or deny that she married the respondent for his money. Of course she did, bro. And you knew that. Girl, you married her because she was pretty and had a name, and she married you because she assumed you had money. He goes on to ask, other questions include asking her to admit or deny she filed for divorce without telling him, whether she cheated on him during the marriage or whether she was sexually intimate with another person during the union. He asked Porsha to admit or deny that she was never in love with him. You already know that answer. Simon also asked Porsha to answer what was her understanding of the reason why your husband paid you a 5-figure monthly allowance during the marriage. 5 figures. So that's like $10,000 and above. I don't know if Simon got it like that. So I feel like that's fraud money. Okay. So the article continues. It says Simon asked her to explain the nature of her relationship with a man named Calvin. And we heard about Calvin. Calvin's supposed to be her new man, allegedly. Her ex, Dennis McKinney. Another man named Jonathan. He requests also asked, explain the nature of your relationship with Navarius Denoon Cash, professionally known as Future. Girl, I did not know that's Future's real name. Navarius the Moon Cash. Girl. So it goes on to say Simon did not expand on the questions of his reason of asking. Sources close to the reality star tell In Touch Porsha does not know Future. As In Touch previously reported, Porsha filed for divorce in February after 15 months of marriage. She demanded the prenuptial agreement they signed before walking down the aisle to be enforced. She demanded Simon vacate the $7 million mansion they shared while married. Porsha said the prenup was clear that Simon had to leave the property until the outcome of the divorce. Simon objected to the request. The judge granted Porsha temporary exclusive use of the home. Recently, Simon demanded Porsha be found in contempt of court for failing to turn over requested documents in the case. To date, the wife has willfully and intentionally violated this court's February 2024 standing order by refusing to turn over her mandatory discovery perpins to the Fulton County rules. Simon motions read. Simon accused Porsha of having intentionally and willfully violated the order by not turning over her requested documents. In addition, the businessman argued that the prenuptial agreement was not enforceable. Further, the prenuptial agreement is not enforceable under the law because it does not meet the criteria for enforcing the prenuptial agreement, Simon motioned added. November the 7th, 2022, prenuptial agreement is not enforceable for several reasons, including there was no meeting of the minds, the terms are unconscionable, and because the facts and circumstances have changed since the prenuptial agreement was executed, making the agreement unfair and unreasonable, his lawyers wrote. They added, since the execution of the prenuptial agreement, the wife entered in the agreement with True Entertainment, LLC, Bravo, NBC Universal, and Truly Original, where wife's incomes exceeds millions of dollars, which has drastically unexpectedly changed the facts and circumstances and intent of the parties when entering into the prenuptial agreement. A judge has yet to rule on Simon's request for sanctions. Porsha has yet to respond in court, but she has continued filming Real Housewives of Atlanta amid the drama. Y'all, this is stupid. This is so stupid. Simon is so annoying. Simon is so annoying. And I know Porsha regrets ever like getting with him because he is annoying, because I don't understand how this divorce is taking this long when they were only together for a year and 3 months. And we have other people who were in relationships longer, like Jeannie Mai and Jeezy. I think were only married for like 4 or 5 years, divorced already. Tiana Taylor and Iman, I think maybe probably married for like maybe 8 or 9 years, maybe longer than that, divorced already. Everybody else has been able to get a divorce except these two. And it is wild to me. And you can tell that Simon is prolonging this because he wants to punish Porsha, because he is so irritated that she embarrassed him the way she did by filing for divorce. And they were only married for a year and 2 months. And I know Future is at home being like, girl, why am I in this? Why am I in this? And I'm tickled. I'm tickled because to me, I feel like if Porsha and Future were together, I don't think he would mind his name being attached to Porsha. And I know Porsha would let everybody know that she was with Future. So if they did mess around, it probably had to be on the low. I know I saw some people suggest that they might have signed NDAs, but to me, I don't see neither one of them signing NDAs, because them being together would probably bring like, I know Porsha wouldn't sign one because it would elevate her status to a certain level, and I don't know if it would elevate Future status, but I don't think he would mind his name being attached to Porsha's. To me, I think Simon put Future's name in this because it was going to garner attention and it was going to be salacious. Because now you have people making speculations to like if they were together, if they weren't together, like did they sign NDAs, or like me feeling like maybe Simon just put Future's name in there because he just wanted the blogs to pick it up, to be honest. In this prenup, I was waiting for Simon to be like, the parameters of the prenup weren't upheld, because it didn't make sense to me why he was contesting it so hard. And then the added fact that he put in there about this deal that Porsha signed makes it even more like, oh, I knew this was coming. Because truth be told, they both should have never signed that prenup a few days before they got married, because I knew somebody was going to say, oh, I was in distress when I filed that document or I signed that document. Because why would you sign a prenup either days before you get married or the day of? There's always that possibility. It seems like Simon is like, you didn't uphold your side of the prenup. And if that's true, then he has a case. But I definitely think it's because Porsha walked into some money and he wants a piece of that. But I just feel like Porsha didn't play the long game correctly. We all knew she married that man for his money, and she should have waited at least a year or two before filing for divorce. She should have came back on this show, acted like everything was all hunky-dory, shouts out to Kathy Hilton, and then like in the middle of the season, bam, the immigration drama, and then her in the confessional crying, being like she doesn't know if this is the right relationship she needs to be in. And then we get to the reunion, she tells us she's filing for divorce, and she probably would have been fine. And if it's true that the parameters of the prenup weren't met, then Porsha is going to have to comply with whatever the judge rules if it's in Simon's favor. That's why you don't sign documents weeks or days before you get married. I just feel like Simon saw that deal she had with NBC Universal and was like, nah, girl, I want a piece of that money, as well as he wants to punish Porsha for doing this to him. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got. So as always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in the comments below and share your thoughts with me. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.